Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to yet another episode in Inner Guide Q&A program. So today we are going to talk about how to have a better relationship with people. Well, to start a relationship is very easy. Anyone can do that. But to maintain that relationship to a long time and to have a healthy relationship is a bit of a roller coaster ride. So, our great teacher, Supreme Buddha, taught us there are few things that you need to practice in your life to strengthen and make your relationship so much better. So there are 4 things. These are called Sanghavattu. They are the factors that strengthen our relationship with people. So when we are talking about relationships, our great teacher Supreme Buddha doesn't mention a specific kind of relationship, but he describes these qualities affects all kind of relationship. No matter who the person who you are relating to, if you practice these qualities, that relationship is going to be strong, healthy, and so much better. So what are these 4 kinds? Number 1, our great teacher Supreme Buddha taught us you need to be generous. You need to have the mind of giving. So what are the things that we can give to people? There are so many things. You can give materialistic things like clothes, money, jewelries, or gifts. So when you're giving these materialistic things, people become happy. So in a relationship, no matter who the person is, it may be your girlfriend or a boyfriend, husband or wife, or your parents, whoever the person is, you need to give something to them, right? You need to give gifts. Not only the gifts, but our great teacher Supreme Buddha taught us, you need to give your love, your affection, your care, and your attention, right? Don't hold on to these things. You should be generous in giving these things. So the first thing that makes your relationship so much strong and so much better is being generous. Number 2, our great teacher Supreme Buddha taught us, you need to speak kind words, pleasurable words. Everyone who lives on this earth likes to hear kind and pleasurable words. So what do you have to do? You need to speak kindly to the people you are relating to, right? Speak kindly to your mother, your father. Speak kindly to your husband or wife or your boyfriend or a girlfriend. So when you speak kind and nice words, their hearts become so much happy. So what you need to do? You need to speak kind and nice words. Be nice to them. Don't be rude to people. No one likes to be with rude and angry people. So what do you have to do? Speak kindly. And number 3, Supreme Buddha taught us, you need to have the quality of beneficent conduct. What do you mean by beneficent conduct? You should be willing to work for the betterment of the other person, right? So when someone sees someone is working for the good of that person, he becomes happy. That relationship will be strong and more healthy. So what do you have to do? You need to work for the betterment of other people. You need to help them by your actions, from your body. Do something that makes them happy, right? Do something that makes them feel happy and nice about you. So what do you have to do? You need to have the quality of beneficent conduct. And the final quality, this is one of the most important qualities that you need to have. You need to have the quality of impartiality. Simply it means the equanimity. You need to maintain an equal mind in ups and downs of that person's life, right? So many people break their relationships and leave people when they are facing hard times. So what do you have to do? Be with them, help them, be by their side, and become a strength to that person when that person is down in that person's life, right? So if you can be with people and if you can maintain the same mind in ups and downs in other people's life, that relationship is going to be so much better and so much healthy. So these are the things that our great teacher, Supreme Buddha, taught us that makes our relationship, interpersonal relationships, so much better. So practice these things. And also remember, a healthy and a better relationship is about two things. Number one, accepting the similarities of that person. And number two, respecting the differences of that person. So make your relationships so much healthy and better with the teachings of Buddha. Welcome you all wonderful people and my dear sons and daughters. Today, we are going to learn about the essence of Buddhism. Now, you may be having a question. What is the essence of Buddhism? What did Buddha really teach to us? Well, the Buddha answers for this question from three separate verses, where you can find them in Dhammapada. In case if you are wondering what is Dhammapada, Dhammapada is a set of verses which was originally preached by the Buddha in certain occasions due to certain incidents that happened in the Buddha's time. So we have 423 verses in Dhammapada, which are categorized into 26 chapters, and in the 14th chapter, which is known as the Buddha Vagga, which gives the meaning of the chapter of the Buddha preaches and Buddha teaches us about the essence of the advice of the Buddhas, or essence of the Buddhism. Now, first of all, in this video, I'm going to share with you the first verse, and also I'm going to make another 2 videos for the other 2 verses. So from this video, we're going to learn the first verse and the meaning of that verse. So before everything, I'm going to chant it for you. So listen closely, and after that we are going to learn the meaning of it. The verse goes like this. Sabbha pāpassa akaranang kusalassa upasampada sacitta pariyodapanang etang buddhana sasanang. Okay, let's learn the meaning of that verse. Sabbha pāpassa akaranang kusalassa upasampada. Let's take these 2 lines and learn the meaning. Sabbha pāpassa akaranang. Buddha teaches us, avoid all evil deeds, avoid all evil things from your life, and cultivate the good or the wholesome things in your life. Now, when we think about our mind, when you just think about your mind, it's very prominent, it's very clear that we have a higher sensitivity to negative things, or they're called the evil things like anger, jealous, hatred, selfishness, laziness, ego. All those evil things are very easy to cultivate through this mind, in this mind. Is that true? Yes, that is true, right? It's very easy to get angry. It is very easy to feel jealous. It is very easy to hate someone. So Buddha says, to avoid all evil things, what you have to do, cultivate more wholesome things in your mind. For an example, if you get angry all the time, little by little, try to practice the love and kindness. Try to practice the patience in your mind. That is what Buddha says. So what you have to do to avoid evil things, you have to cultivate more good things. That is the only way that we can avoid the evil things from our mind. To avoid any kind of bad habit, the only way is to replace that bad habit with a good one. Practice something good in the time that when you are about to do an evil thing. So that is what Buddha said. To avoid all the evil things, cultivate more wholesome qualities like love and kindness, patience, tolerance, and unselfishness, compassion, dedication, courage. So when you take about these wholesome qualities, it is very hard to practice. It's very hard to have the love and kindness inside your mind for a long time. We feel angry with people. But although these things are hard and difficult to do, what we have to do is we have to practice it little by little, little by little. We will fail, we will fall, we will cry. But we should not give up. That is what Buddha said. So to avoid all the evil things and to cultivate more wholesome qualities, and also Buddha said, sacitta pariyodapana, to cleanse one's mind. Now Buddha taught us, when you get these evil thoughts, these are called the defilements, right? The greed, the hatred, and the ego, or which we called the delusion. These three defilements makes our mind impure. Buddha said that the normal nature, by nature, our mind is very pure and it's very bright. But when we have this incoming defilements like greed, anger, and delusion, selfishness, what happens to our mind is it becomes impure. So to make your mind pure and cleanse it, cultivate the wholesome qualities in your life. Buddha said, Etang Buddhana Sasanang. This is the advice of the Buddhas to this world. So see how peaceful advice that the Buddha gave to this world. So everyone can practice this, right? There is no religious difference, there is no any bounds or any rules to practice this. Anyone can. We all can practice this, right? So when we practice, what happens to our life? We get happiness, right? We get that self-happiness about our life. So many people out there, they don't have that ability to be happy about themselves because they are doing these evil things. These evil things bring the sadness and the suffering and the regret to our life. So easily, the Buddha said, instead of doing evil things, try to practice something wholesome, something good. So what we all have to do, regardless of any kind of religion, we have to cultivate more good deeds and good emotions and good intentions, good thoughts inside our mind. As a result, surely we will get the happiness to our life. So do good and be good. One of you have asked from us, how can we kill the laziness? How can we do the things without laziness? Okay, today from this Inner Guide Q&A program, we are going to discuss that how can we do the things without the laziness and how can we kill the laziness. To kill the laziness and to do the things without laziness, to stop being lazy in our works, our great teacher Supreme Buddha taught us that you should have 4 great qualities. If you have these 4 great qualities within you, you will never feel lazy in your works. You will never feel lazy when you are doing meditations. You will never feel lazy when you are doing studies. To accomplish anything any special goal in your life, you need to have these 4 great qualities. So what are those great qualities? These are known as 4 iddhipadas. The first great quality, the first iddhipada that you need to have to accomplish anything in your life and to do the things without laziness is called chanda. What do you mean by chanda? Chanda means the desire. If you have the desire for doing something, in one way or another, you are going to do that because you like it, you love it. If you love what you do, or if you do what you love, you will never feel lazy. Now, suppose that you are going a trip or a picnic tomorrow. So tonight, when you are going to bed, you never feel sleepy, you never feel lazy because your mind is excited and you love that day, that coming tomorrow. So you are going to be happy in that day. So if you are doing something that is you like, that you are passionate about, you will never feel lazy. So what you have to do? To kill the laziness, to do the things without the laziness, you need to generate the desire for doing that. If you are doing meditations, you need to have a desire for doing that. Without the desire, if you do the meditations and do the spiritual practices without the desire, you will feel lazy. That is the first great quality, chanda. Here comes the second one. It's called the chitta. Chitta means the mindset. You need to have the determination and you should have the correct mindset to do the thing that you want. You need to have a great determination that I will do this thing today. Right? You need to have that mindset of not giving up. If you have the correct mindset to do something, you will never feel lazy. Because you are well focused to that. Your mind is focused to what you are doing. When your mind is focused to something, you don't feel lazy anymore. You don't feel giving up anymore. You don't feel bored anymore. So what you have to do? You need to have a correct mindset to do that work. Then you will never feel lazy. That is the second step. Third step, and the third great quality, that's called the virya. Virya means effort. To do something, to achieve any good goal in your life, you need to give some effort to that. You need to dedicate yourself. You need to sacrifice your time, your life, your blood and sweat to do that. Then only you can achieve that. When you are dedicated for something, when your mind is dedicated for something, you will never feel lazy. So what you have to do? You need to dedicate yourself and you need to try hard in your works. Try hard in your studies. You should never give up in your meditations. Then you will never feel lazy. Because you are committed to that. You are dedicated to your work. That is the third step. That is the third great quality. Here comes the fourth great quality. That is the final one. It's called the vimamsa. Vimamsa means investigation. You need to investigate what are the ways that I can do my work easily. What are the ways that I can be more productive in my work? If you investigate yourself in your work, then you can kill the laziness. Because sometimes we do the things that we don't love and that we don't like. If you have the power of investigation, that what are the things that I like to do? What are the things that my heart feels free to do? If you do those things, you will never feel lazy. So what you have to do? You need to have these four great qualities. First one is called chanda, the desire. Second one, chitta, the mindset. Third one, virya, the effort. And the final one, vimansa, the investigation. So if you have these 4 great qualities, you can do the things without the laziness, and you can kill the laziness in your life. So practice these qualities and escape from the laziness and be happy in your life. Welcome to yet another episode in Inner Guide Q&A program. Now it's been a long time that we haven't done a Q&A session. So today we are going to answer one of your questions. Someone has mentioned in the comments that it said that what to do when the life is becoming unfair, and what to do when life is not going in my way. Well, we are going to talk about this today. First of all, remember the nature of our life. What is the nature of our life? Life is a little bit unfair. That is the real nature. But the problem is we expect that everything in our life to be perfect and to be fair. That is the problem. That is where the real problem is. Because Buddha said, if you have expectations, if you have more and more expectations inside yourself, chances are very high for you to feel so stressed. So remember that expectations stands for suffering. If you expect the life to be fair, you will suffer, right? So the nature of our life is, it is a little bit unfair. So how to face such situations, how to face unfair situations in our life? Well, I want you to do 3 things when you face tough situations in your life, right? These are very simple, but yet when you practice it, it is very hard to do that, but you can achieve it. Number 1, first of all, you need to realize what the situation is. That is the first thing that you have to do. If you're going through a hard time, right, you need to analyze about that and see what the problem is. Well, there are 2 types of situations in our life. What is that? First type of situation is the situations which are in our control. Experiences which can be changed by ourselves, right? And the second type of situation is the situations which are out of our control. We cannot do many things about that situation, right? So these are the 2 types of situations that we go through in our life. So first of all, you need to analyze and you need to see what the problem is, whether it is in my control or out of my control. Right? When you realize about the situation, then you can do something about that situation. Okay? That is the first thing you have to do. Analyze the situation. Number 2, if it is a situation that is in your control, just do something to change that situation. So what are the things that are in our control? What are the situations and experiences that we face in our life and which are in our control? Well, if you face a bad time, if you face a stressful situation because of your own faults, because of a mistake that is within yourself, then you can change it. Because we own our mistakes. We are the owners of our mistakes, and the mistakes can only be changed by ourselves. No one can change that. Someone can advise you, someone can show you the path, but no one can make it correct than you. So what you have to do, you have to change the situation. If it is your mistake, correct it. If it is your fault, then do something about it to change that situation. So these are the things that are in our control. Remember. Here's the third one. When we face the situations that are out of our control, how to face that situation? Well, these are the situations we spend most of our time trying to change that, but we cannot do anything about that situation. So what are the situations which are out of our control? There are many things, right? Criticism is out of your control. People's opinions, they are out of our control. How people behave in front of you is totally out of your control. They are their choices, not your own choice. But we try to change these situations and we become so sad and depressed trying to change, and we find that we cannot change this situation. So if you cannot change the situation, what you have to do? You have to change your perspective about the situation, right? You can change the perspective about the situation, because the perspective and the way you see that about that situation is totally in your control. Because your thoughts are in your control, right? So what you need to do is, if you cannot change the situation, change the perspective, change the way you see about that situation. Okay? So remember, when people act weird in front of you, when people try to make you angry, when people criticize you, right? When people give unwanted opinions about you, just think, these things are out of my control. I should not waste my time of my life to change these situations. It is much better to change my perspective about this situation. So how can you change the situation? How can you change the perspective? You can be kind to them, right? You can maintain a positive mindset inside you, right? It is much better to maintain a positive mindset daily, every day, right? Listen to some things like positive things, positive words every day. It is much better to do that, because the more you listen to the positive words, positive ideas, right? Then the more you become positive inside, right? Then you can change your perspective about the situation. That is what you can do. Always remember what Buddha said. It is a nice quote that Buddha said that describes about the life. Buddha said, "Achinti tampi bhavati, chinti tampi vinasati." That is one of the greatest and one of the nicest quotes that Buddha have told about the life. In life, Buddha said, "Achinti tampi bhavati." Most of the times, unexpected things happen. Isn't that true? We don't know what will happen in the next time, right? It is a mystery. So in life, always unexpected things happen. And the things that we expected will going to be destroyed, right? If we expect something, we don't get the same thing. That is the thing. So remember that quote that was said by the Buddha. Achinti tampi bhavati, chinti tampi vinasati. Right? And there's another quote that was said by the Buddha. Sadharanang vihanyanti. If you expect the life to be fair, chances are more that for you to suffer in your life. So live with less expectations, right? If you are going through a tough situation, just analyze the situation, realize about the situation, and if you can change the situation, do something about it. If you cannot do something about the situation, change your perspective. That is what you can do when the life is not going in your way. So make your life a peaceful one with the teaching.